now tuned in to Butterbee Rocker on Transparency Talks Podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. It is a beautiful day in the ATL, and I am excited to be here with you guys. Listen, we have an amazing show for you guys, so I'm going to just dive on in. This man is absolutely awesome. His name is Marcus Boyd. He is the CEO of Marcus Boyd Beats, and he is an autism activist. So with all of that being said, let's bring him on into the studio. How you doing, Marcus?
How you doing? Listen, I was rocking to your intro video. I like it.
Thank you. I created the beat too.
Oh, you stupid. That was that was stupid. That was stupid. You. Listen, I'm trying to see that. Legend. That's all I got it. Legend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, Marcus, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
I am a 13-time music award-winning music producer, composer. I'm a 4-time Autism Activist Award winner. I'm a professional DJ. I am a clothing line owner with a shoe line, a clothing line. I'm a CEO of a gospel entertainment company. It's a lot going on. But most importantly, I am an autism activist, which means that I go to schools, facilities, universities, school boards, NAACP meetings. I go to, city halls, and we talk about autism, the inclusion of autism, the acceptance and awareness of autism, Medicaid, therapy services, more activities for autism families and individuals, to be able to spread a light and to put more of an act for autism individuals and families worldwide. I was born with autism. I didn't start talking until I was 13 and a half years old at a 2-year-old's level. I didn't start talking like this until I was almost 18. I didn't really stop having public emotional behaviors until I was like 24. I'm 38. So, I understand from a whole different spectrum, if you will, or from a whole different side of things. And that's the reason why I became an autism activist, because I wanted to help spread my testimony and help spread more inclusion and awareness and acceptance for the autism communities worldwide.
Okay. So you just said a whole lot there. So we're going to dive into everything that you just said. So you was born with autism. Can you tell everybody what that is?
Autism is neurological disorder or situation. It's not a disorder, but it's a situation to where we think different, we respond different, we communicate. Our communication, our learning, our processes is different. So when the doctors told my grandmother, it was like 11, 12 different doctors said the left side of my brain doesn't function correctly. So it's not the same as a regular individual's brain. So which means I process stuff differently and don't register in the same way that other people register. My learning is different. My reading is different. My comprehension is different. The way I form sounds or understand sounds or language. And there's different type of levels of autism. See, when I started with my autism, when I got diagnosed in April 12, 1993, I was 10. So the thing is, I had what is called classic and severe autism. So, I couldn't read, talk. I couldn't understand languages of variables, phrases, verbs, pronouns. I couldn't understand mathematical equations or anything of those natures. So my level of thinking was at a 2-year-old's level, even though I was growing or my age was bigger, but my thought pattern and my mental flex was a 2-year-old's level. So with autism, it's just we see and think and learn different. There's nothing wrong with anybody that has autism. It's not a disorder, it's not a disease or anything else. We just see stuff differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are the signs for autism? Because most people, like if you're a baby, you babies
Right.
really don't talk that much anyway. So what are some signs that parents should look for, for autism?
I mean, it's different for each case. Each individuality is different. So I can't say like this will be the target point for each child because when you meet one autism person, you only met one autism person. It's not like meeting a whole conglomerate of individuals. So each sign is different. I know my well, with my grandmother, I know my signs were, um, standoffish, not not communicating at all. I used to rock. I had problems with my temperament. I used to throw things. The temper tantrums was more frequent than not. Um, I didn't want to be around people. Certain foods I still can't eat. Certain sounds still bother me. Certain color textures still bother me. This the stuff that was dealing with me. Again, each case is different because you know each person is different. So a person making stand sounds it may not be able to stand colors or shapes, whatever have you. And now autism 30 years later is way different than what it was 30 years ago.
Okay. So how did you start to communicate? Did you take were there treatments? Did you take sessions? Like how did you
Well,
begin talking and
Anna Gibbs was my speech therapist at Clifton Springs Mental Health Center in Decatur, Georgia. Berta Looper was my therapist. Dr. King was my doctor. Bob Ortner was my, behavior aid back then. Now they call peer specialist. So my sisters and my grandmother, I mean, sticky notes, Bible scriptures and quotes. I mean, they read the whole series of Curious George, the Big Red Dog. We tried Hooked on Phonics, Muzzy. There wasn't nothing that we didn't try. So it was a forceful thing in my household. My grandma said that I'm going to learn how to talk. She's not going to let the doctor say how my life is going to be and stuff of that nature. So she forced me to read. My sisters did sticky notes everywhere. It was like they used to pull them out, and they didn't care how long it took me to sound it out. They didn't care if I mumbled, if I drooled, whatever. I was not leaving until I attempted to sound out the word. And again, 30 years ago, autism wasn't just plastered everywhere. It wasn't like brochures and pamphlets and groups that you can take your kid to and stuff of that nature. It wasn't displayed like that.
right?
So I didn't even know I was in Special Olympics until I was out of Special Olympics, and it was like 7 years. Like I didn't know. I just knew that white bus came to pick us up. We went on a field trip. We got ribbons, and I was out of school. That's all I knew. But now I understand it more. And see, with autism, it changes. It changes because there's different levels of autism. So now I'm understanding that back then it was an experimental process versus what it is now.
I could imagine that, with new technology and the more they're studying and learning about it, that they've improved, especially from back in the day, definitely. So is it important to stick to routines?
I'm a routine type of guy. Okay, I am a routine guy. I wake up at 7 in the morning and handle my business. I'm at prayer by 8 in the morning. It's like summer camp in my life. My life is like a whole summer camp. You understand what I'm saying? Because it has to be routine.
Right.
Routine. Hour by hour, I need to know what I'm doing. So that's how I life, and I'm almost 40. So that's 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 what it is. And when you try to tell the people that you have autism and you with stuff, see, again, I only can imagine how hard it was for people to deal with me with autism. I mean, I understood, and I didn't start verbalizing my autism to 4 years ago. I was sweeping it under the rug because I wanted to be normal, not understand that I was already normal, but I wanted to fit in, especially in the music industry. I'm
Right.
telling people I make beats. I got autism. They not want to hear that. They just want the beat. They don't care what my personal situation. So I just wanted to be normal like everybody else because I always felt different. I've always felt outcast. I always
Mhm.
felt alone. So it's like it was my only voice because nobody else was hearing this voice. It was hearing the music.
Right. 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 Did you have to take treatments, or was it just this your therapist that got you through, or do
Oh
they
no,
have?
no, oh no, 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 ma'am, no, ma'am. I was inpatient in charter. I was in 16 different mental institutions, 17 foster homes, 16 group homes,
Wow.
um, 4 outpatients, electrical shock therapy. I was on Ritalin, Paxil, Depakote, Seroquel, Zoloft. I mean, just to name a 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day, 2 to 3 times a day per pill. So I
Wow.
didn't get off that till I was 21. I ain't stopped seeing my therapist until I was 22. So, I mean, again, this Marcus came a long, a long, long way.
Well, good for you. What are some myths that people? What are some misunderstood things that people think about autism? People with autisms.
Well, they think we can't function. First of all, they think just because we're not speaking verbally that we're not speaking at all, and that's untrue. We
Right.
are communicating. The thing is that people have to find our language and our way of communicating. So we are telling you how we feel. We are telling you what we want. We may not be able to verbalize it, but we can write it, we can sign, we can point, we can do a lot of different other things to verbalize how we feel and what we want. We are very intelligent. There's nothing wrong with us.
Hmm.
Um, and stop saying that we need to be on medication instantly
I
because
agree.
each case is different. So, you can't medicate the situation because it's not going to fix it. It's not going to heal it. It's not going to transform it. What we have to understand as parents, what we have to understand as volunteers with autism, is that it's just it's just a word. It's just a title. It's no different from bipolar, schizophrenia, or anything else that's a title. We choose our own destiny and our own path. And if we stop at the diagnosis and look at the greatness within the person and be able to be patient and compassionate within that person, then greatness can abound.
You're a preacher over there too. You talking some wisdom right there.
Listen, little bit.
So how did you transition into music? Where did that come from? Did you start young? Was you taught, self-taught? Did you have a tutor? Like,
My
talk about.
grandmother,
Okay.
being raised in between Atlanta and Brooklyn, New York. I'm old Atlanta, by the way. There's nothing wrong with the new Atlanta. I love the way Atlanta looks, but I come from the projects. I mean, Techwood, Capitol Homes, Kirkwood. I mean, I'm old Atlanta. You understand what I'm saying? So back then, it was sharing showcases. It was parties everywhere, Freakniks. It was, it was it it was the life, and then transitioning from New York vibes to, my grandma said, "Listen, because you short and fat." Her words. Okay, she said because you short and fat, you can't sell drugs. You wheeze when you sneeze. So she said you can't sell drugs. You wheeze when you sneeze, and you got bad legs. So you're gonna take this pamphlet and you're going to 3 months of band camp. Yes, I went to band camp way before American Pie. Yeah, way before American Pie, I was in band camp. Yeah, and I was playing percussion And then they taught me how to play strings. Like this girl playing the trombone, she dissed me because she said she don't want to talk to mute people. Like real. That really happened.
Lord. It's not funny, but it's funny the way you're saying
I mean, it's funny now. I mean, because like I was like real young and I liked her and stuff like that. So I tried to write her a little note, and she said that I'm not in her class. Plus, she don't talk to people that's mute. So wherever she is now.
So we have a question that came through from Ernest Moore. He is asking, what would you say to a young person now dealing with autism and now COVID-19?
It's hard with first of all, shout out to the GOAT and the leader, Mr. Moore. First of all, I think it's more harder now because we are enclosed. And with autism, it's a very hard thing because we like to stay enclosed. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to get out. We want to go to parks. We want to go to gyms and experience that. Some autism individuals don't like people. They don't like being around people. It's hard to interact with people. It is for me too. At almost 40, I literally handle my business in my room. Stay in my room. That's my life, my room. So I just say to parents at this point, try to get your kids out. Try to interact. Try to get them to see other things and experience other things, even with a mask on. I'm not. I don't know about the vaccine, the vaccination, whatever. That's per individual. That's decision. But to answer Mr. Moore's question, I would tell them to try to get them more involved in activities, even if it's inside activities. You understand what I'm saying? Because grandma used to say, a dormant mind is the devil's playground. And we don't want these minds to be dormant. We want them to be taught with knowledge and everything else. And see what Mr. Moore does with the young men and stuff like that in the special needs community is really needed. His type of work is really needed because we're not taught elegance. We're not taught how to be gentlemen. We're not taught those things. We're just cast out. We're just pushed away because we have special.
You preaching over there. Marcus the preacher. Look. You preaching over there. Honestly, you're really dropping some dimes.
A little bit.
A whole lot. So, okay, let's jump back into this music a little bit. So, again, you started when you was younger. You went to band camp. You started on the percussions. Then you moved to, I think, Like the Girl. What'd you say you moved to?
The trumpet and the alto sax.
I played the trumpet too. I played the trumpet and I played the keys, and then I started having problems trying to play keys and sing at the same time. It was hard for me to process. I was getting so much into the singing that I would stop playing the notes and close my eyes and start singing. Yeah, so I started missing notes and stuff. But I can get it in the studio. I can get all my ideas out, and stuff. But yeah.
I mean, I heard that beat was crazy.
Thank you. Okay, so you did trumpet. So when did you transition to, hey, I'm going to start making beats? Because that's totally different.
Okay, so I was in Atlanta. I was skipping school. It's the truth. I was skipping school. My cousin knew one of the members of Organized Noise. So one of those members gave me a laptop and Fruity Loops won the demo version. Yeah, they gave me the demo version. They gave me an Acer laptop. That's when Acer was popping. So the Acer laptop and the demo version of Fruity Loops won. So I was carrying around my trumpet. I was looking a little weird, just walking around Atlanta with a trumpet. I'm all on the MARTA bus with a trumpet. So he taught me how to blend live instrumentation with digital sounds, digital compression sounds. So with the BPM being 85, being 90, 72, or whatever, he taught me how to blend that live sound because that live sound is going to be off when it comes to digital. You understand what I'm saying? So he taught me how to blend sounds, and then and we on Fruity Loops. Okay, I don't know if anybody know about Fruity Loops, but it's really not the best software to try to interface or blend live sounds with digital concepts. It's really not. I don't know. We on Fruity Loops 11, 12 now. I don't know where we at,
I started on
but
Sonar. I know it's just as bad.
yeah, don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud. Don't right. Don't.
But look, we had to learn somewhere. We had to learn somewhere. And now, now I'm Logic, but that's what I started at.
Listen, listen, they have improved Sonar. It's a really
Yeah.
good. It's a really good. It's really good now. But but no. So I'm making beats like 14, 15. Again, I'm speaking at a 2-year-old's level at that time, but I'm learning how to write and stuff of that nature. And you know the group the guys I was with at that time, they didn't shun me. You see what I'm saying? So one of them paid me $600 for a beat. That was my payment. $600, 2 tickets to Six Flags, and money to go to Sizzlers. If anybody in Atlanta, Sizzlers. You get that $5.99 salad bar. Let me go ahead and tell you, you know what I'm saying? You don't know how many dates I took the Sizzlers off for $20. So I mean, I was doing something at that time. Reeboks was in, Jabot jeans was in. I thought I was doing something. I had $600 plus. I had 2 free tickets to Six Flags.
Right.
Not knowing the business, not
Right.
knowing they'll take that beat and make dollars off of it, and I don't have no mechanical royalties, I have no audio royalties, no masters, I don't have nothing, no contracts. Right. So
Right.
yes, they took me. I got that.
You was learning. You was learning at a young age. That's kind of the same story for me. I was doing a lot of stuff in the studio with TLC. Here I am making $1,200, $1,500. I'm thinking I'm doing it, but I'm doing the demos. Different Killers doing the actual albums, and I didn't know. I was young, so I'm over thinking,
So can I ask you a question?
What?
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Was Pebbles really like that, or was it just like some made up?
She wasn't around when I was over at Dark Studio. She wasn't around.
Oh, you was at Dark?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I was at Dark almost every day. Yeah.
Wow. See, again, legend. Legend.
Okay. So, and actually, my cousin is with Organized Noise.
Oh, well.
Marquez Etheridge. He's the one that wrote Waterfalls.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you start selling your beats at age 13, 14, which is, unheard of. You know what I'm saying?
I was selling them for $15 a beat.
Hey, I understand. I understand. At that age, that's what you do. You just want to get on.
I just want somebody to hear me. I used to go to the warehouse. I used to go to the atrium and everything. Right? I got beats. People used to walk past me, get out of here, you too young, stuff like that. They even kicked me out of Jazzy T's. You got to be real Atlanta to know about that. You got to be real Atlanta. Real Atlanta.
Okay. But you went from learning how to sell beats and everything, making beats at a super young age, to now you are a 13 award winner with you've been on a lot of different projects. Can you tell us some of the projects you've had the pleasure of being on?
I worked with Shirley Caesar, Dwelle, Kanye Doss, Eric Roberson, Dice Wonder, Fonte, Rhapsody. I with Lil Wayne, How to Love. I mean, it's 2011. But see, this is why I've been in this business 21 years. I'm about to retire. But I can't retire. I can't retire because Super Legend right here is about to do a movie.
Yes, I
So,
am.
so we're gonna bless that. We're gonna bless all over that holy oil, that holy oil. It. We're gonna bless it in the name of Jesus.
Well, I'm glad that you're not retiring until after our project. So that's a great
Right,
thing.
right. After that,
Right. After
after
that.
that. I
Okay.
mean,
All right. So you are, as you just mentioned, you're transitioning. You're about to stop doing music.
hold
So
on
if
real
you're
quick,
okay,
quick.
okay. Well, while I am talking to my listeners, we are talking to Marcus Boyd. He is the CEO of Marcus Boyd Muse Beats, and he is an autism activist.
I'm sorry. My queen had to go to work. You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
Had to handle queen stuff. Had to
I
handle queen
understand.
stuff.
Absolutely. Take care of the queen, and she will take care of you.
Amen. Amen. Prophecy. Proverbs. Proverbs
Right.
15:47. 15:47.
So when you're diving into a song, what's the first thing you listen to when you're listening to a new recording?
The beat. The beat. Like it just really guides me because everybody says, "Oh, I'm a singer, I'm a rapper." But the thing is, it's like if I do right now, if I just came out of nowhere and said, I was born back in '83, a pain and misery, was not searching for empathy, but poverty is over me, and consciously I can't help what I grew to see as just society that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm speaking openly about the Travis chosen as I go through this world. It's not cold for me. So if I did that, you understand what I'm saying? Then I'm listening to what's gonna match from that because the
Mm-hmm.
pattern, the voice pattern, is how it's replicating
Cadence.
from that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening to the beat to be able to, and a lot of times, again, this is no dig to no new artists or anything else. I think the artist needs to study beats first before they put their lyrics out to just anything, because the beat and the lyrics has to be able to merge. It has to be able to be married. You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
musically, you have to make love to the song, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's where we forgetting because they just want to quick. I
Mm-hmm.
wrote this. It's fire. And when you get like 10 guys behind you, man, that's fire. That's fire. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to tell you the truth. The truth is that you didn't really pick the right beat for that type of song, for your type of lyrics. Your lyrics
Mm-hmm.
couldn't blossom. Your lyrics couldn't come out and flourish. You just put your lyrics behind anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you said the beat first. So if there is no lyrics and everything, and you're in the studio and you have to come up with concept. Now I know this is ironic for everybody. For me, when I'm coming, it's just strictly doing the production, right? The beat is the last thing I put. The drums is the last thing I put on there. I start with keys when I'm producing a song.
Mm,
What is your
because you key
creative?
safe. You key safe. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So with me, I don't do custom beats because I have to hear it first. You see what I'm saying? So the
Mm-hmm.
drums for me are always first. I build
Gotcha.
around the drums. You
Gotcha.
know what I'm saying? Because I come from Old Baptist, and even the Old
Mm-hmm.
Baptist church, they playing behind the pastor. You see what I'm saying? I come from drums and organ first. That's what I was. That's what I was taught through church.
Right.
It's drums and organ first. So you
Mm-hmm.
build around that with trumpets or saxophones or guitars or whatever. And even if you're using samples, you understand what I'm saying? Because I do use samples. But even if you use samples, you have to find the right melody that will blend in with the sample. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about organized noise, that when you make a sample and you put it with a beat, you already have the melody already attached with the sample. You're not just putting the sample with a drum or whatever. The melody has already talked to the sample, has already talked to the beat before you put the sample in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Have you studied any other producers as a music producer? Is there somebody that
Yes,
you look up to?
Look
Who is
up to,
that?
yes. Pete Rock, DJ Air, Ninth Wonder, Hot Tech. I mean, all the greats, all the greats. I mean, for a while I was looking up to Soldier Boy. Shout out to Soldier Boy. I mean, because he made beats. He made
Right.
beats. Now, I mean, for the new artists now, I love Take Key. Take Key on the beats. Because Take Key be killing it. Whoever produced for Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk, I like all that stuff. I love Lil Baby's producer. So I mean, I like the way it's going. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
Atlanta carries that old trap sound. You understand what I'm saying? And again,
Right.
you got to be old Atlanta to really understand where trap come from. It ain't just pop up out of here out of nowhere. It came from when the Red Dogs was kicking in your door and Techwood and stuff of that nature, dragging you and your whole family out because they think it's a crack land business up in there. That's where it came. It came from the pain and the struggles that people was experiencing deep in Atlanta. The only thing they had to do and where they come from was the trap.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. All right, preacher. I hear you. I hear you.
Look, I mean, no,
So, are you big on collaborations? And how is it for you in warming up to people? Like for me, when if I go into the studio and I'm working with a new producer or I'm doing a collaboration writing with someone, my if I'm warmed up to them, I'm a little bit more open to giving out my ideas because your ideas are fresh, and you're sensitive about your work. You know what I mean? So what's your process with collaborating with other people? Are you good at it? Do you have to warm up? What's going on?
well, shout out to Saga Boss and Tika out there in Atlanta and stuff like that, Justice League and stuff of that nature. You know, all of the Boss's stuff is my production. All the Tika stuff is my production. I mean, it's easier for us to collaborate because we live in two different states. So they hear a beat on it, boom, I send it. It's simple. But even if we was in the same state, with my autism, it's I don't really do a lot of people. So it's harder for me to just be in the same room as you and stuff of that nature. Even if you say, oh man, Marcus, that beat is whack. I don't like that beat or whatever, whatever. When I first began, I wanted to jump across the table.
Right.
I mean, I did because I took offense to you saying my beat is whack or it's trash or whatever. I had to learn how to get tough skin and understand that this is not personal. It's business
Right.
and you're entitled to your opinion. And I mean, in 21 years, I had three people tell me I shouldn't be a music producer. I mean, but those three people were my aunt, my grandma, my sister. So, hey,
How do you overcome blocks when you are trying to create?
um, I mean, I get them all the time. The thing is to step back,
Hmm.
do something else, and these will come to you. Yes, it sounds stupid. It does probably really sound stupid. But if for true musicians, the melodies is already put inside. You just
Absolutely.
displaying and put it out on platform. That's all you doing because you feel it, you hear it.
Hmm.
You have that string inside of you, that drum inside of you, or whatever. You feel this inside of your soul or your spirit. So even when you get your blocks, just do something else. It could be a day or two, a week, or whatever. Just do something else, and it will come. It will come back up. It will be like, okay, this is what I was feeling. I'm in a calmer space now. Sometimes when you're in an angry space, or when you're in a space that's not, peaceful or nurturing or whatever, you lose your musical oneness.
Right.
So, you got to get to that zen, your peaceful place, wherever that is for you. For me, once I go to Golden Corral, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Once I go to Golden Corral, I'm good.
I know this for myself when when I was going through my divorce, I wasn't trying to write. I lost all juice. I didn't want to talk about my sadness. I didn't want to talk about my pain. I didn't want to put it on paper or put it on wax. I didn't want to do none of that. You know what I mean? And and I noticed that when I'm in a peaceful, place, that I'm able to create and knock it on out. So everybody has to learn how they function, and 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 definitely make sure that you give it your all when you do the projects and everything. And like you just said, sometimes you do have to step away, take a step back. I have to do that all the time. I have to take a step back, listen to it, and then I'll keep building on it. Oh, I hear this now. Oh, I hear this now. I don't like none of this. That's my process. So, okay, you saying some things.
Would you consider yourself a diva when you go in the studio because of your legendary status? Will you just let people throw ideas at you now? Or would you be like, are you open to work with new ideas because you already know the road and direction journey you're going?
Actually, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to ideas. I'm I'm open to constructive criticism. But I do, if I'm collaborating with somebody, I do want to be able to get my ideas out before someone just tells me everything that they are feeling. You know what I mean? I would at least like to get my ideas out. Then you can tell me your ideas. And if I like your ideas or I want to incorporate some of them, I don't have a problem with doing that. Or if you say, hey, well, I like this part of what you're doing, but change this and change this melody or do it this way, I'm definitely open to that if it makes sense for me. I don't have no problem with that.
You learn something every day. That's what they say. You learn.
So are you affiliated with a label?
Yes, I'm the CEO of Miss D Entertainment. It's a gospel label right out here in Tucson, Arizona, and we have international artists, and we have deal with Sony Orchards and some other situations and stuff with that. So yeah, I signed myself.
You Terrence says that all the time. I signed myself, and I'm not mad at that. I think that's the best way to go. I've always been a true believer. If a door isn't open, build your own door. Go in your own way, do your own thing. So I'm all for that. You also worked a little bit in magazines and everything. You was doing interviews and different things. I think with two different magazine companies. Who was your favorite celebrity that you interviewed?
Candy Boris, because she was her and Mama Joyce was them. You get what you see. It's
Right.
it's not a put on, not for the cameras. It's okay, and
Right.
hi.
You get the real.
You get the real.
Right. Right. So back to your activism. How
Hmm.
does people get involved to help
Right
you?
now we're structuralizing Autism Love Enterprises, which will be the new nonprofit organization that we're coming out with.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to reach out to help with the with me being an autism activist, you can just call me 520-330-0242. Again, it's 520-0242. I mean, I'm not a hard person to reach. I'm not no person or celebrity or whatever. And I didn't get in this for that. I get it. I got in this because those voices deserve to be heard. Those dreams deserve to be reached. And why not me? God allowed me to go through the storm, so why not me? And we have a lot of stuff going on. Me and my team, we got a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff dealing with autism because I don't want to just be out here speaking about autism. I want to provide activities and different things for the autism and the individuals. The Autism Music Fest. I mean, everything. The Autism Career Day. Everything with me is autism. So, because we're going to change the mind, look, and how people see autism, because we great just as you are. That's why the A collection, my line. Shout out to ASOG. That's why I'm wearing this hat. He's 15 years old and he has autism in Philadelphia. and he's a fashion designer. So why can I not help the next generation?
Man, I'm sitting over here in awe, super proud to know you and have you as a friend. I'm
Yeah,
very
you legend. Try to get your autograph.
seriously, Marcus, I'm very impressed with what you're doing, with your activism and everything, and of course with your music and everything. But I think it's very bold to be that voice and fill that void, and it's true. Why not you? Why not? Why not? So
I mean,
I'm
I'm not
excited.
gonna lie. I'm really not gonna lie. Like a couple of days ago, when I got those messages from, because it's a situation going on with the cyber investigation that I currently got going on, and when my life got threatened, and they were showing me pictures of dead monkeys and little boys, African boys being hung, saying that they don't want no African American man to be taken out as a voice for autism. Because you have to understand, see, now, 4 years ago, nobody cared. But now that I'm on Fox, NBC, CBS, I'm about to be on the cover of Autism Digest and everything else. Now it's like, it's a problem because I'm the first African American in history in the autism world to win 4 awards for being an autism activist. So now that barrier has been broke. So now people are like, well, we don't want you to have a voice. We don't want to hear your voice. We, we can have you going out of here.
Wow.
And this is not the first time. This is the first time. So it's like in your own community, there's hatred like that. Did I want to stop? I sure did. But I realize it's not about me. It's
Hmm.
about every individual and family needs a voice, that needs somebody to stand up for them, that needs somebody to care, that needs somebody to support them. So I sacrificed my own life to be able to help out somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in regards to hating and everything like that, I mean, unfortunately, we live in a world that is full of hate. They can't congratulate. They don't see the big picture, you know, and you can't control those type of people. The only thing you can do is continue doing what you're doing and shining your light and keeping it moving. And as much as you can, stay away from the negativity and anything that does not serve you or serve your energy or where you're trying to go. Just ignore them as best as you can. But naturally, that would bother anybody. But I'm saying that to say, I mean, that goes for people in the music industry. I mean, it goes for so many people. There's hatred. I mean, people can't even just say, congratulations, or they're not happy for you. That's unfortunately that's how people are. But I'm happy for you. I'm very proud of everything that you're doing. With the autism, you created a song called Happy Feet. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was originally a beat. I mean, it's a beat, but then it became a little viral because it got sent to China. They started doing choreography to it and stuff of that nature. I really made the beat to show happiness and togetherness for the autism community, but it just got a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Viral does that.
Just a
Going
little
viral does
bit.
that. Just a little bit. Okay, so what's next for you? How can people well, we already went over how
Oh.
people can support you. How can people find you on social media, all that other good stuff?
You can just, I'm rebuilding my website, autismactivistmarcusboyd.com. So that's going to be back up soon because I'm putting new stuff with it, good stuff. Facebook is Marcus Leonardo Boyd. Instagram is Autism Activist Marcus Boyd, or the Orange County Chronicles TV show, or the ATL Hottest Special Awards. Or we just we can just keep going on. I mean, or they can call me, give out my number twice out on this amazing interview. And what's next is Supermarkets, the comic book. It's the comic strip in these newspapers. It's the Marcus, the hero inside the children's book. It's the stage play by my amazing award-winning sister Tina Bridges out there in Atlanta. Shout out to TLA. They doing the stage play about my life with autism called The Boy with No Voice. It comes out in October. Um,
Nice.
It's getting we working on a real feature film movie about my life. So I mean, it's and Autism Career Day that's coming. Autism Career, because we're going to show what success looks like in the autism community to our young children. So Autism Career Day is definitely coming. It's on the way in my autobiography book. The Boy with No Voice is coming. So it's just a lot.
You're busy. You're about to be real busy, and I'm not mad at that. I think being busy is what you're supposed to do. It keeps you focused. And for me, the more busier I am, I know it seems like I'm doing a lot of projects, but I'm so on top of it, and I'm so focused when I have things to do. When I don't have anything to do, it's like my mind can't be creative, and so I'm just like I'm slowly dying when I'm not being able to be creative. And that's you. You're a
No,
creator.
but your household. Shout out to future husband. Your kids. Congratulations to that magazine. Yo, man, listen. I just want to rub on your house so I can be like y'all grow up.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. Well, with all that being said, we're about to go. So we're going to sign off to everybody over in, okay, so listen, we're over in Italy, we're in Japan, we're in London, we're in Canada, we're in Nigeria, we're in South Africa, we're in Detroit. I feel like I'm missing something. We're in Atlanta with Blaze One Radio. So we're everywhere. And I just signed another deal with Reach One. I don't want to say the wrong name, but I'll be announcing it soon. It's Reach One. I just can't think of the last. I think it's media, but it might not be the word. So I'm gonna leave that
Reach one media, yes, ma'am. Reach one media. Listen. If y'all don't know about this amazing podcast, uh, transparency. Listen, y'all need to get on this podcast. Not just because your brand, not just because it can help elevate you to another level. It's because you can learn and get nuggets and knowledge from the legendary Miss Butter herself. She just told you everywhere she is. I ain't never been to Africa, London, Europe, Italy. I've been in Detroit. I saw Detroit. Trick. I'm trying to get my pass. Trick. I'm trying to get my pass. But like, look, she's everywhere.
Well, we're going to sign off from there, and we will talk to you guys later.